Hi everyone, it's Christina from Christina's Art Corner. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I thought I would do a little intro to a tour of my art room. I won't go into drawers and things like that unless you all request that you want to see that, but I figured I rearranged things in my room, so I figured I would give you a look-see. I have an L-shaped desk and then another desk over here. And here are some new books we're going to go through today. Some books for April, some new supplies that we'll go through today. This is a painting that I created with clay paint and acrylics, many years ago. And this houses my stickles, and this also used to house my washi tape, but it has fallen off the wall, and so I have to go ahead and fix that and screw it in. And then you have my bookshelves. Let me try to get back as far as I can so that you can see mostly the full length. Okay. So I used to have my pencils in these containers where I glued magnets, and my shelving unit has metal on it. So now I just put this is a headband that my granddaughter loves to put on when she comes over. So I just have that in there. And then this 100 Hugs book by Chris Riddell. And from left to right on each shelf, I go by illustrator last name. So we'll start with A's. And these are all books that I've colored in. All of these shelves that I'm showing you now. And then I have my cases for pencils, reference books, and then a plein air set that I can take out with me. And then the top shelf are my reading books. And then this shelf starts last name, A, illustrator. These are Untouched books. And then more pencil cases. I've gone ahead and redone some of my cases and labeled in many cases. Well, in all cases, but I did that also so I could do a new pencil review. If you'll see on my channel, I have one in my early days of YouTube. And then I have some skin tone pencil sets here that I'm incorporating in a book of just skin tone pencils and watercolors. And so all these down here at the bottom, this is acrylics, palettes, and my jars for watercolor and some extra brushes. And then over here, Disney books, Korean and Japanese books, Untouched. And then here I have my color by number, and then like my finished books of the month, my color cubes. And then I have my whips down here, more pencil cases, and that finishes up those. This is a painting that I did a while ago. I have what's called cervical dystonia. It's a brain disease where the basal ganglia shoots off the wrong signals to muscles and it affects my neck. That's why it's cervical. And so I did a portrait of my back. It's how it looks sometimes when I don't have my Botox injected. But anyway, I did that with clay paint on a wood panel. And then I have these two carts. So I have my tools for inks and watercolor pens here, and then acrylic gouache, all my acrylic fancy paints, I call them, the full cart, and then my acrylic markers. And then I have some little displays here, a little picture my granddaughter did a couple of years back. And these are Gansai Tambi. I have watercolor, metallic watercolor sets in here. If you ever want a video of just my metallic watercolors, let me know. I have some plain paper. I took my printer out because it costs so much to replace the inks, and I think I'd like to get a laser one at some point. These are my Tombow markers, and then I have Cretacolor in there. And then all these drawers have watercolor sets in them. And then over here, I just have some organizational empties, and then swatch books, an upcoming video, and all of my cabinet and drawers here, and this one in the corner is stubborn to close, so that's why it's not closed. Normally it is. And then over here, I have a cart with oil pastels and chalk pastels. And then on top are basically papers I put behind sheets so I don't bleed. And then my wax paper sheets that you all are familiar with if you've seen my completed pages. Things of that nature. And then my filming setup here. We have this over my desk, and that's how I do my top-down views. And because my desk has a very short lip, I can't really clamp things, so that's why I did it out of wood. And I have a bunch of gel pens in there. Those are kind of go-tos. And then here I have some masking fluid and powder, masking powder, journal pens, and then I was going to put this under my desk so that I could have more options for cords, and it just falls out of the wall. I guess you got to screw it in, so I'll be doing that at some point. And then here I have Prismacolors, polychromos, water bottles, I should say, scissors and brushes, washi tapes. Here I have alcohol markers. Those are newer, and also my Stabilo crayons. And then you see my Ohuhu markers, my small amount of Copics, Cali Arts, and then I have Neocolor 2s, Neocolor 1s, and then miscellaneous things in here like my cordless eraser. I have the replacements in there, washi tape. And so, yeah, and then I have some extra, let me get below here. I have some extra brushes in there, larger ones. And then on my desk, here are my to-dos in April, my Holbein case that I've now marked with a label maker. And then this desk kind of used for journaling. Right now I have this cord system that goes all the way up to give me a ring light. And that's why I bought the other electrical components so I could have it all under my desk and not on top. But here's some journal things. Here's the 2 journals that we made together on my videos, you can see. And then some ephemera, some of my journals, stamp set, some happy planner stickers, a memorial to a cat that I had, Duncan, and a candle and my camera. And here are 2 paintings that I made prints of. This one is called Thoughts, and this one is Raven. If you look here, this is a bird with an eye. Did that black, white, and gray. And then here in my closet, I have all my journal things and diamond painting accessories, canvases that I've finished or haven't started yet, glues, gesso, Mod Podge, and up here is my fixative. Let me let it focus. I'm a Rubik's Cube girl. I love my Rubik's Cube. Back here I have some oil things. And then up on the top shelf, I have camera equipment, some more journals, and just some miscellaneous camera equipment. I still have a little bit of organization. It's messier than I like. I've got my smocks, and then all of my diamond paintings are in this side. I don't want to open that side though because I have a bag that's falling down. And I've kind of been under the weather here this month. Well, for several months, but now I think I'm getting a cold. But anyway, that gives you a quick look-see around my coloring space. And now let's finish the video with some haul items and then what I'm working on. Okay, let's do our sit-down view. I'm just gonna take a quick sip, have some electrolytes in here. Last night I got a headache, which isn't uncommon, but then I got a sore throat. Wound up having a fever through the night, so I wasn't sure I was gonna do this video today. I was gonna do it yesterday, but Easter and all. Let's go ahead and start out with some things that I purchased. I purchased the 10 Neocolor 1 metallics. I thought this would be a fun thing to have. We'll see how metallic they are. I have this Fluid 100 watercolor paper hot press finish. And this came in a Sketchbox subscription. So let's go ahead and try these out. See if they say anything. Waxy, of course. Water resistant. Okay. So this first one is gold. I'm going to give it a good swatch so we can see the color payoff. Dark gold. And a bronze. And that's nice. I like that color. And here we have a scarlet. And that one's nice too. And then we have a rose pink. These are crumbly, as you can see. Violet. Now I am pressing hard because I want to get the pigment payoff. Phthalo cyanine blue. Oh, that's pretty. That's beautiful. And then this is a phthalo cyanine green. That's pretty too. They're very pretty colors. And then this is a silver. And this is ash gray. All right, and I'm just gonna take this and remove our little bits here. Like I said, it is a little crumbly. But there we go. Let's see if you can see the metallic. Yeah, they're nice. Very waxy. I think, you know, some of what you're seeing is the wax, not necessarily just metallic pigment. But they definitely are fun, and I love that they're like a muted metallic. So I'm happy with those. Those are going to be fun to play with. See if I can incorporate them in some pages. The next thing I've been accumulating over time that I haven't shared yet is I wound up getting the Tim Holtz Distress crayons. And I've got here, let me do the sets in order. And then, oops, that one's not fully closed. We have a bad box because, you know, Amazon is so great sometimes with our things, right? Okay. Set 5. All right. So this is set 1. And here are the colors on the back. And then this is set 2. Beautiful colors. Beautiful, beautiful. And then this is set 3. And I skipped 4 somehow and got 5. And I started using them on a page I'll show you. But we'll also do a real quick swatch of some of these. It comes with this plastic, which you can flip over and you can use as a palette. Let's go with the peeled paint. And let's do this Salty Ocean. And let's go ahead and activate. Very nice. Very pretty. And you can get the lines out, which is nice. So yeah, they're really nice. I'm so happy to have them and add them to my Neo Color 2 collection. There's quite a few colors that are different than those of the Lyra Aquarelle and these. If you ever wanted me to do a review between the three or any kind of watercolor crayon type medium, do let me know. So I like to do those things on a wanted basis rather than just throwing it at you. So I got those 4 sets over the last couple of months. And I got this Transin acrylic marker dot tip brush tip. And I had shown you in my completed pages, they're the same, white and black. You get 4 of each. Oops, I pulled out 2 black right as I said that. So you have a dot end here. Okay, you can make small or big. And then on the other side is a brush. And it's kind of a firm, still bendy, but a firm brush. And then it will be difficult for you to see the white, but the white is the same. And I really like going over some of my lines and things with this. It's very nice, and I can even do it, let me show you, with the dot marker. So I'm very happy with these. These were an Amazon purchase. Anything that I show you today, I will link in the description. By the way, a lot of times I don't say that, but I always link in my haul videos, just in case you're curious. And then I got this. This is more for sketching purposes, but it can also apply to coloring pages. But this is an AI liner by Kuretake. I saw this on a, excuse me, let me take another drink. I watch a lot of artist channels, illustrator channels, and I saw this pen. And it's a very fine liner, but look. You can make these, like, I was thinking like fur marks. It's very, you can make it very, very fine. So I'm very happy with this. I'm gonna stick it in, well, maybe for my thumbnail shot, I better keep it out. Maybe. Okay, moving on. Then I got, let me show you some new watercolor brushes. Oops, that one lost its cap. Let me just show you. Okay, so I have my portable set here. These are really nice. And I go like this. Now that the weather's getting nicer, I'll be able to use this more if I go out and color. Okay, Mr. Pen is the orange tips. And this one also. And here is the cover for this one, good. Okay, this was an Amazon purchase, Mr. Pen, and watercolor brush pens. And the reason I got these is there's a wider brush, so you can get larger areas. They're snapped. And here's one also. I'm gonna squeeze it a little bit since it hasn't been wet. Try not to fray the hairs. Okay, and then these orange tips, they're rounds. I've used this one and I like it. Here's a really small one, round. And then we have a smaller square. And another round. This is the bigger round of the two. I've used it as well. So I think they're pretty good. They were inexpensive. And I have my holy grails. I love the Molotov. I don't know if it has a specific name, but it's easier to push than these. Like, I love this one, this Derwent one. I do use it quite a bit, but it's hard to push. Sometimes I get weakness in my hands, so these were some inexpensive ones. I use these quite a bit as well. And then I have the Caran d'Ache one again. This press button, it's kind of hard sometimes. So anyway, I got those, and I'm very happy with the one that I've used so far. And the bigger ones, we'll have to see what I think But for journal, mixed media, and backgrounds, I thought those bigger brushes would be good to have. This is a block. I'll let that dry over there. I got these from Amazon UK. This is Playcolour, and this is Gouache solid. And I also saw this on a mixed media channel. And so you get this little insert. The box is almost shredded. But here are the colors. And let me get one of these, my water brush, handy. All right. Okay. Maybe we'll do it this way. How about that? Okay. So let's start with a yellow. There are no color names as far as I remembered. But here you have a twistable top. I'm going to do a couple colors and then we'll judge from there. It's really smooth and nice going down. Very nice. Let's do a brown. And how about a purple? Okay. Now they dry pretty quickly, so hopefully I'm in time to get some results. So yeah, you can wet them. I was thinking of using it either this way. I think the lighter colors wind up being a little easier to blend than these darker colors. It's a little more difficult to, you can see the pigment line. But one of the things you can do is use the water brush directly on here. I have done that already. And that way you don't get the lines, but you get the color. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, once they dry, it's hard to get no pigment line. But they are beautiful, and I thought I could also use I thought I had one of what I've lost my words. But let's try a brush. Let's do a green. And let's just see what happens. It's just one of these makeup brushes. Okay, so you can fade out the color. Let me do a darker green in the center. So semi-blendable. It might be good for actually like a bokeh effect in a background. It's actually pretty nice. Let's do this lime color around. I will tell you at the least, these are very fun to play with. I feel like a kid. Let's get some of that in there. Let's see what happens. I think that's really cool. I like that. Blending stump. That's the word I couldn't think of that you could also use. I thought I had them very handy. I know I do. I'm just not putting my eye on it right now. Okay. So yeah, I think these are fun. I'll just put my swatch over there. I always, when I use these, I do not dedicate these to a certain color. I always wash them with a Dawn soap, a slight drop of like toilet bowl bleach cleaner, and bathe it, and then you get them real clean that way. Anyway, don't have to add the bleach if you don't want to. But I tend to use that a little bit with my brushes. Get some nice and clean, no residual. Sorry about the squeaky noise getting this back in. I'll have to think about maybe if I want to put them up here in these. Let's just try. This is just spending some time together, so I hope that's okay with you all. I haven't put up a video in a couple weeks now because I've been going through it medically, and so let's see, would it be better this way or this way? Let's just see how many we can fit in here. You got to make sure you get the lids on real good. Gonna do this some different order maybe. Green, blue. Let me do the purples because there's less of them. Okay, I don't know. I could do the pinks at the top. Could I even fit two more? What two more do I want to do? The gray and the black. Let's just see if that... No, I think that goes too high. No. That's okay. Let's just see. Yeah, that looks kind of cool, actually. So let's go with our blues. And actually, I probably should have put... Well, I'll do this. And then we've got our brownies. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay, there. Now we don't have to worry about that trash. Now we're gonna go into new books. I got the new Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Cattenbang. This was a pre-order. Tell you what, all that packaging has gotten some gunk under my nails and I'm not liking it. I did do a flip through myself, not on video, real quick, and I love this book. This and Wild Summer are probably my two favorites, if I dare to say. Look how cute this is. And I started this one. So for this one, let me see if you're getting good color payoff here. Yeah. All right. Let's see, I used a Hoo markers in the back. I went kind of a little dark and then lighter. And I did her skin, just basing. And did some coral here and then did some on the fish. I have some metallic on the fish, and then I did the sand and a little bit of coral down here. Let's see if you can see the glitz and shine on there. So I'm intending on, I have not finished, like I said, I've just based this. So I have some lines I'm not thrilled with in the fin area. But yeah, that's the start of that. And it wasn't supposed to be in my April plans, but it is now. So I love that one. You can see my marker base. I love how it looks on the back. But yeah, I do love this. I love this. To be honest with you, it's silly for me. I love every page. There's not a page I don't love. I really adore. And I know there's quite a few flip throughs on the YouTube spaces. If you want a full flip through of anything that I have here, you let me know. But I love this one so much. This is one of my favorite pages. That's a good one for Halloween. I don't know when I got into loving dragons. I know it was prior to House of Dragon series. I have always had an affinity for them, and I don't know if something in my childhood started that or what the deal is, but I really do enjoy dragon themed pages. Oh, this is so cute. I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love. And I love the roofs on here, and she's writing this one. This is a beautiful scene. That's one for mermaid. So you get the idea. Lots of beautiful pages, and I'm so happy that I started one already. And then I had to get the Carla Magana new one, Lunisoleil. And it's a little taller than the regular Camellia Angel Cova. So it's thinner and taller. Okay. So we'll do a quick flip through. You know, we did so many pages in Tropigoth together. And then I had to stop my hashtags because I was having real trouble. I've been having trouble with my health markedly since December when my father passed. And since then, for sure. But I love me some Carla Magana. I'd love to get back into my hashtags, not necessarily the same ones, but I love these images. I just wish the paper was better. You can see the design through here, but beggars can't be choosers, huh? And Carla Magana has a YouTube channel, and she explains about the book and the idea behind it. I'll link that in the description if you want to take a look. But these are just so much fun. I'll tell you who does an amazing job at coloring these is Bubble of Coloring, Katya, and I'll link her channel below too. I think she's already done a couple of pages from this book, and they're so stunning. So you get the vibe. Very cool. Very nice. So that's Carla Magana, Lunisoleil. I got another copy of Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosanis, just so that I could have a second copy in case I bleed through one of the pages with all my mixed media frenzies. So I thought I better get a second one. I've already started a page in the other one that you'll see. But yeah, it's just a second copy. I want to say it was Amazon UK or Amazon France. I got this book and this book from the Marbo Publishing. This is Peggy Nill and Ines Karate. I'm not really sure. This one is Voyage Zen. And the paper is always good in these. It's one of the reasons why I chose these. Now, between the two, I'm not as thrilled with this one as I am the other. I do think the illustrations are beautiful. You know, anything that I've purchased lately, like, I've really loved. And I think the illustrations are fantastic. I'm just not sure it's really my jam. So I'm going to hold out. I mean, I guess I don't know. I have two theories. If I go ahead and color in a book I'm kind of questionable about, then I can't really give it away or sell it, for instance. So I don't know. I have two theories about that. You know, just jumping into a book you're not sure of and maybe you'll love it. I don't know. Definitely more into flowers than I was before. Food is not necessarily my thing. Tons of flowers and patterns, I'm not so sure. It is a beautiful book though, there's no doubt about it. And it's got gorgeous ladies in here. Beautiful, stunning. And I absolutely love these colors. So beautiful. But that's Voyage Zen. We have this one here. When was this published? 2022. This has, you know, some birds, some animals, some mushrooms, some scenery here. I'm not totally keen on the black background with very little to color, but you never know. The paper is beautifully thick. This is a nice idea. I love having, many people don't like to have big background spaces, but I love it. And this is really cute too. I love balloon pages. There's more black background, but you have some without. And here's kind of a third of the page is black background. Yeah, I find this more interesting to me personally as far as coloring it. The illustrations are no doubt beautiful in both. This one would be fun. And I believe I saw these books on Coloring with Kay, so I will list her in the description as well. There's a good Space Tumber page. I'll have to remember that miraculously. Oh, this is beautiful with the whales. So yeah, I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous book, and I love the good paper. And then on Amazon US, I was able to get Tinier from Coloring Heaven. They distributed their books to Amazon, so I was excited. Wasn't going to get this book, but when I saw it on Amazon, I was like, am I being duped? But no, I saw that they were sending it to Amazon for us. So I'd like to, we've got these shelf pages. I think I'd like to start maybe in May or June. So let's see, just being realistic. There's May, beautiful. And there's June, a travel page. So yeah, and it just goes into the months, and it has different little, what do we call these? I don't know, I lost my words again. Kind of like Small Victories by Joanna Basford. But yeah, very cute. Here's August. Well, I love that. So that's Tiny Year by Coloring Heaven. And then I got Alexei Bitskoff's Monster Party. I had shown you before I got the fairy one, which is in my April to start pages. The Pictura Monster Party. So as you all know, these are flip out books, and let me just flip it out this way and kind of bring you down the line here. So there we go. It's so cute. I think I want to start this one maybe August or September so that it could be a Halloween project book. This is really cute. And then I also got, this is a merveilles.com, and it was France that I got this from, by Sonia Cavallini, Jardins and Fleurs. This is a gorgeous book. That's stunning. Nature and Fleurs. One thing I love about this book is that you have a bigger picture on the right. You have your inspiration on the left, and they've done a nice colored background. It's not just white. And I love that, and I love the colors that they use. So I'm likely to mimic some and maybe just go rogue on some others, but look at these beautiful colors. And you have thicker paper. I'll have to try watercolor and see how it does, but I love this. And we have some cat pages doing cat things. Destroying, as they do sometimes. So do dogs. The colors are just fantastic, and it's nice sometimes if you don't want to think of a color palette to already have one laid out for you. I guess there's arguments towards both. Not being influenced versus being influenced. I love all these pages. I love them all. And then there's a jungle section. Look how beautiful that is. It's just simply stunning. Oh, I really want to start this book. And then I went ahead and got Dream Voyage, and I believe I also wound up getting this from England or France. I forget now. But Melpomene, Chatsapane, Jiitu, Dream Voyage. And I know there's been many flips on this. One-sided. Okay, paper. Compared to what I was just feeling, it feels so thin. But it's nice and white and crisp. Let's see if I can get this over a little bit. Let me take a drink. time for a drink if you need one. Okay. I love this piano one. They're very stunning. I've colored out of all of my books from her. What a nice mermaid page. Can't believe May is coming up, you all. This is nice. They're all very unique and interesting, aren't they? I can't say I love every single page like other books, but I do. I think for me, in her books, that I have to go ahead and get into the page, and then I start to love it. Ooh, very cool. So yeah, Dream Voyage by Mel Plemany. And I think that's it on the new supplies and books. Now let's draw our attention to what I am working on. On these books here, I got some of these as gifts for my birthday, so I'm trying to get some pages, a page done. And I don't think I did this one. So I went ahead and started this one, and it's Girl Spaces by Southern Lotus. I've just started. I have not done the mushroom dots yet. I just created shadows around them, all with Ohuhu and Copic markers. I did forget her hair down here. I'll have to go back and do it. I've got the markers out laying on my desk. That's why you saw so many things on my desk, because I have several pages that are in whip status. So this is fun. I really love how the leaves turned out, and I'm not done with the bunny yet, but I like how it's looking so far. So that's Girl Spaces. And then in Sandy Paws by Babe Carpenter, this was also a gift. And I started this page. And let me see if I can show you. I have a glittery sandy beach. Hopefully you are able to pick up on that. And then the lights, what I did different for these lights is I did a dotting pattern of several different colors, and then I used the Spectrum Noir flip markers, which I use a lot, by the way. Maybe I should do a video about my top 10 books and top 10 supplies. I use these a lot. This is the gold. Yeah. Well worth having. So yeah, I've done the water, the blanket I'm not finished with. I still need to put a shadow underneath here. But yeah, I like how it's turning out so far. And I've got some Posca for some wave action. So there's that page. And then in Froggy Days by the Cool Kitsch Club, I don't think I have started my page yet, the croc page. I will get into that. And then I have my strawberry page to do in Fairy Fuzz. And this is by Anna Amelia. Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Lidahall Oberg. Myself, Jackie, and Deb on Instagram, we are doing a page in here. And I think also the Doodle Robots, Fairy Tales and Folklore Instagram group is doing this page as well. And so far I have used the Distress crayons, watercolor pencils. I think I need to stop saying crayons because they use watercolor pencil. I've used these on the whole page so far. I do have some tweaking, of course, to do. Got some sort of fuzz or something on there. I did use them. I actually wet the tip of the pencils and then lay down the color. I'm going to make these more of a navy, like a navy bottom, to distinguish the color as a different shade of blue than the bow. And the rabbit has blues and grays and browns. So I just started doing a little bit of shading. I'm nowhere near done. And then I have some like olive green leaves, and then these flowers are going to be like a rusty orange. And I'll show you here on this side my inspiration photo. I've veered a little bit from it, but you can see at least the inspiration photo. So I'm happy with how that is turning out. There's Shmoo barking. Still need to work on my Drum and Banger page. I have gotten quite a bit done, but I still have the guy, and I have all of my coloring. Like, I've done the shading and coloring here, but I have not done it on the blue, and it's not fully done actually even in the purple, but I think it's turning out nice. Let me try to give you a closer look. See, I think it's gonna turn out nice when it's finished. I don't have too much to go, so it definitely will be finished. It's probably a good time while you look at this page. Yeah, when I was talking about my health, what I wanted to update you with is I've had a lot of doctor appointments and radiology visits and blood work. Basically what they've come up with, although I'm still having testing done, is that I have a liver condition. Also, autoimmune is playing up, and so I've had to be on steroids, and I always say that it's a hellacious drug to have to be on. The sweats, the headaches, the hunger, just cranky. I'm not a cranky kind of girl, but boy, you put me on steroids and I can definitely be cranky to myself, usually not towards others. I think you all know me well enough that I don't do that. So there's a lot of things that are in limbo. If you all recall, my father's, the last couple months of his life were all liver related, and they're looking into genetic reasons. Also, he did have heart failure, so it can be the reason why his liver failed, but also I'm having a similar situation at a much younger age. So we're trying to see if genetics might be playing up. Anyway, long story short, I go for an MRI tomorrow. I have blood work. Then I have to get, I have more radiology things that I have to do without getting into too much detail. I just wanted to let you all know because, I would love to make sure that I put out a video every single week, but some weeks it's just really hard. And I know you all who know me, who've been around, understand. For anyone new, I struggle with some autoimmune illness, Sjogren's, and I take medicine for a lupus pre-diagnosis. I also have Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, and it's kind of plagued me since I was 14. I had Epstein-Barr virus, and I think if I were to say, I'm not a doctor, but from research that I've done myself, once you have Epstein-Barr virus, which is mono, if you will,
it just really messes up your autoimmune system. And when I go to the rheumatologist, which I have for years, you know, they don't want to pinpoint that. But there's so many scientific articles that do point to that as being the reason why your immune system starts attacking different organs. And you get not just one autoimmune illness, but several. And so we don't know if I have an autoimmune reason for my liver stiffening up, getting fibrotic, or what the deal is. I'm not a drinker, never have been, so it's not alcohol based. It would be a non-alcoholic reason, but same with my dad. Never touched alcohol except for like business meetings or whatnot throughout his life. But anyway, I'm just being transparent. So if I come up at the end of this month with just a few pages done, I'm making sure that my buddies are a priority. I did start in Dragonspell because I just couldn't help myself. But yeah, if I don't have a huge spread of books that I've finished, you'll know why. And I was going to go ahead and color, but I think between the tour and this jabber and showing you some new things, I think we probably can shut the video down for now. But I love you all, and thank you always for your support. Many of you always tell me, take the breaks that you need. It's okay, we're here. It's just not a good feeling, you know, to not be able to produce, to just even for myself to have fun coloring. There's many days I've been in bed. I also had thrown my back out just from a sneeze. I mean, being over 50 can really be hell. That's all I can say. So I appreciate you all being here and being supportive and enjoying what I do. I'd love to do more things where I'm actively showing you my coloring. I do have some video of me coloring in some of my cute and cozy that I might slip in here that you may have noticed. I'll speed through it, so it's me not speaking or a voiceover, just showing the coloring. And then I think that will be it for this video, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the month. For sure you'll get a completed pages video, if not in between, maybe another update just about coloring, not health stuff. I don't think I'm going to find out anything definitive for probably several months. So, but thank you again and again and again and again for coming back and watching my videos. And for those of you who are new, I absolutely love coloring and diamond painting and journaling, and I try to do as much as I can when I can. And mostly I enjoy the community that we have here on my channel, and it's because of all of you. And there's no doubt about that. I'm steering the boat, but it requires all the supportive people in order for that boat to go where it wants to go. So thank you again for being on my journey, my health journey, my coloring journey, my life journey with me. I just want to make sure you all know that I do appreciate all of you. And I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed everything you saw. And don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or a thumbs down if you didn't. That's okay too. And leave a comment if you like maybe one of the pages that you're enjoying that I'm doing the most, or any books that you're enjoying. I would love to hear from you all. So you all take care. Happy coloring. Bye-bye.